Hi everyone, and thank you for watching. URL tracking is a new feature that was added in the 7.5 release of Sassafras KeyServer. And in this video, we're going to walk you through the process of creating a policy to track the usage of a specific URL on the computers on your network. KeyServer doesn't monitor all web usage and is only capable of tracking URLs that are specifically set up as products in the products window of KeyServer. Unlike desktop applications, our product recognition service doesn't have any standardized web products. So in order to track usage of web-based applications, the first thing you're going to need to do is to define the product manually. And just as desktop products are made up of individual executable files or programs, web-based products are made up of specific URL patterns. But unlike desktop applications, which are installed on a machine and can be discovered in an audit, KeyServer doesn't scan the browsing history or anything like that to define your URL patterns. You, as the KeyServer admin, have to do that part yourself. So that's where we'll start. There are two places that you can go to define a URL pattern. One is under the config menu up top here. Web URL patterns. And if we go in here, we can see previously defined patterns. And I can go ahead and cancel out of that now. The other place that you would go to create a URL pattern is probably going to be a more common and natural place to go, and that's within the new product wizard. So as I said, you need to create a product first. So we'll go in here and right click to create a new product. And now this is where we can give this a name. And in this case, we will just create a product for Amazon.com. I'll just call that Amazon, and I'm going to select web-based and select next. And with this window, I can fill in any information that I have. I will call this Amazon. Category, perhaps I can select shopping, and then next. And this is where we would define the URL pattern for this product. And I can click the plus icon down here and call this Amazon.com. Now, if there is either a prefix to this or a suffix that is also part of the URL, say a specific component for the URL that gets added for your particular organization, a login link that applies to you specifically, and you want to make sure that only usage of that version of the URL is tracked, you can add that here and modify this as needed. You can also add regular expressions in the pattern field down below. And there's other ways that this can be modified. If you go into help just by right clicking, there is information available here about how to use the add a product wizard. And I'm going to leave this just like this for now for simplicity, and we'll click OK. Now we've got our new URL pattern, and I have that selected, and I will click next. This is not part of a previous product, so we'll just click Finish. And now we have our product details window populated with information for Amazon.com. So I'm just going to save this. And now we have our new product definition in place. It is a manually created definition with a new cloud icon, indicating that is a cloud or web-based product. And once you've created your web-based product, it's time to create a policy to track its usage. Now, KeyServer doesn't have the ability to block or manage usage of a website the way that you would manage a desktop application. But there isn't anything in the application that will stop you from creating a deny or manage policy. In fact, if you were to create a deny policy for a web-based product and a user were to navigate to that site in their web browser, they would get the standard notification telling them that they weren't authorized to use the product and that it was going to close, but no further action would actually be taken by KeyServer to block usage. So keep that in mind. What we're going to do in this case is go ahead and create a new policy to track usage of Amazon.com just by dragging this down. I want to make sure I don't accidentally drop it into one of the previously created policies, so I'll go into this white space and drop that there. And now we'll step through the new policy wizard and just click Add. I'm going to leave the default name as Amazon policy. In this case, you can see I do have the option to select Deny, Observe, or Manage. Your only real options here are Manage or Observe. For Manage, if you set it up as a site policy, That's where you'll be able to see current in-use numbers. That's really the only effective difference between a manage and observe policy in this instance. So I'm going to leave it at manage in this case. You might consider using observe. You'll have a different color icon, the yellow icon instead of the blue. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it at manage and keep all the defaults. So we'll select other and cite here and select next. And now we finished, so I will click finish, and now we have the new Amazon policy with the product that we created that has the URL pattern we defined. And when I save this, we will see the new Amazon policy show up here to track usage. And it really is as simple as that. Now, another thing worth mentioning here relates to the new macOS Mojave update. Security and privacy changes in macOS 10.14 include a sandboxing feature that prompts the user to allow applications to communicate with each other. To track URLs, key access uses this gated IPC mechanism when querying browsers for information on which URLs have been loaded. So the first time key access queries a given browser, the operating system is going to display a prompt asking the user to provide permission. Once the user allows or disallows the communication between key access and the browser, the operating system will not prompt again, but the setting can be changed in the Security and Privacy System Preferences panel. Under the Privacy tab, you select Automation. So what does this mean? Well, for KeyServer administrators, it simply means that URL tracking of web applications on computers running Mojave will only include data for users that have given permission to key access when prompted. This is a privacy-focused feature that Apple has implemented at the operating system level, and at the moment there isn't any way to prevent or override it. Let us know if you have any questions about this or anything else that comes up when implementing URL tracking on your network, and thanks for watching this video.